Today is a cold and early morning, and I figured it's the perfect time to go over one of the most underappreciated cars of the 90s, the Nissan Micra K11. So maybe you want a cheap, fun, reliable Japanese car from the 90s, but you couldn't really justify the prices of the Civics and the Miatas of that era. Today we are covering if the Nissan Micra K11 is worth your time and money in 2025 and beyond. And today we are covering all of the essential information that you need to know about it. All of the different years, all of the different options that you have, aftermarket support, the community behind it, all of the pros and cons, all of it. My name is Ludwig, and today we are going to be seeing if the Nissan Micra K11 is worth your time and money in 2025 and beyond. So, history. The Nissan Micra K11 first started production in 1992, and it continued its production all the way up to 2002. From 1992 to 1996, it was the pre-facelift version. From 1997 to 1999, we have the facelift version, the first one, which I have here. Then we have the second facelift version, which lasted from 1999 to 2002. The K11 came in 3-door or 5-door. And one fun fact about this car is that back in the 90s in Japan, they held one-make races. So many Japanese people actually went racing with these things, which is pretty awesome. And some Asian countries today still race them. In Sri Lanka, they still race these things. The K11 was offered in either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed CVT transmission. The K11 Micra of course came with different engine packages. We have the 1-liter engine, the CG10DE, which produced 55 horsepower to 60 horsepower. Then we also had the CG13DE, which produced around 75 horsepower. And then we had the facelift 1.4 engine that came with around 82 horsepower. So the Micra also came with either distributor engines or coil pack engines in the early 2000s with the second facelift version. So the K11 is also very unique given all of the special editions that it had. In Japan and in some parts of Asia, you for example had the K11 March Tango or maybe the K11 March Bolero. So moving on to reliability. Given that this is a 90s Japanese car, it's bound to be super reliable. But like many other Japanese cars, rust is what mostly kills these. You have rust in the usual spots like sills, rear arches, cross front members, spare wheel well. So when you go to check out a car like this, make sure to properly check that. And even with my car that has 67,000 kilometers since new, we found that the sills have holes in them. Otherwise, these cars are super reliable, they are very fun to drive, parts are cheap for them, there are plenty of parts still. If you live in the UK for example, like many Micra owners do, you guys have it nice. Micra parts are next to free there. So now to the fun part. Aftermarket support and community. The Nissan Micra has a sort of cult following, similar to the Mazda Miata. You have dedicated companies just to this chassis alone. One of them is Fab, for example. He produces many fabrication parts for this car, and I actually got my wing from him. So I had the wing imported from the UK to Sweden. We also have, for example, Toxic Motorsport. He produces full turbo kits for this car, and they also can help you with restoration. As for the community side, we do have groups like the Micra Mafia on Facebook. We also have old school forums that you can go through if you need anything. Complete write-ups are done there. Many sort of old school tips and tricks can be found. Another very cool part about the Micra community is just how creative people are. You have guys making whole lip kits and all that, just because there aren't anything available for the car. So a rather small checklist, but a rather important checklist that you can carry with you from this video is that if you are going to be checking all of these cars out, as mentioned, check all of the rust spots. That's super important. Also check MOTs, and preferably get a manual as well. And one more important tip that I can give you. Try to buy it off an elderly person as well. Elderly people tend to take care of their stuff better than young people, so that's just a good thought to have. So what is it like owning a K11 Micra, you might ask? Well, it's a ton of fun. You get a high-revving, lightweight car that barely consumes any fuel. It handles like a go-kart. The community is basically like a cult. So whenever you do meet a Micra in traffic, it makes your day, you know? And every time you go to the market, you feel like Kichi Tsuchiya in his Hachiroku. This car is a blast even in stock form. So why should you buy a K11 Micra and why should you not buy a K11 Micra? Let's go over the cons first. As mentioned before, rust is the biggest culprit why these cars are disappearing. So if you really want one of these, make sure to grab a clean shell. Second con, these cars are not very safe, let's be honest here. If you want to use a car like this as your daily, try to get one with an airbag at least. So the third con I'd say is the lack of aftermarket support compared to other popular cars. For example, Mazda Miatas and Honda Civics, they have huge aftermarket support. So if you aren't the type to fabricate and DIY a lot of the stuff yourself, you are probably better off buying a Miata or a Civic. But if you are a person that prefers doing their own stuff, the Micra is a very good choice for you. These cars are super cheap. I picked mine up for 15,500 Swedish crowns, which translates to around maybe 1,200 pounds and around 1,400 euros. Second pro is that they are super reliable, of course. They are super fun. And the last pro is that it's a Japanese car from the 90s, right? Compared to modern cars, these cars have charm. They have soul in them, right? Even just keeping a Micra in stock form, you have more charm than 99% of all the cars on the road. And yeah, that is it. We have gone over every essential part that you need to know before buying a K11 Micra. If you watch all the way to the end, I really appreciate you. We are almost at 100 subscribers. So if you enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. If you have any questions about the K11, make sure to drop them below. I answer every single comment. And if you already have a K11 Micra but you have tips and tricks to share, make sure to drop them below as well. In the meantime, make sure to take care of yourselves and I'll see you next week.
Those on the beat.